Pest control companies have built a billion-dollar industry on one single assumption, that you cannot protect your home without them. That, without their chemicals, their quarterly visits, and their products, your home is defenseless against every bug, rodent, and creature. I spent 30 years on a 200-acre farm in Millersburg, Ohio. We had every pest imaginable surrounding us on all sides every season. Ants, roaches, termites, mosquitoes, rats, mice, spiders, flies, beetles, moths, and wildlife pressing against every wall of every structure on that farm continuously. We never signed a pest control contract. We never called an exterminator. We never purchased a single chemical spray. And in 30 years, not one pest ever established itself inside our home permanently. What we used cost almost nothing. What we knew has been passed down through Amish farming communities for over 200 years. And today I am giving you every piece of it. My name is Samuel Mast. I grew up Amish in Holmes County, Ohio, farming 200 acres with my family from the time I could walk. No electricity, no pest control contracts, no monthly service visits, no chemical sprays that wear off in 72 hours. Pest control in my community was never treated as a reaction. We did not wait for pests to establish and then fight to remove them. We built environments that pests could not establish in from the beginning. We understood what every pest needed to survive: food, water, warmth, harborage, and entry, and we systematically denied every one of those resources through methods that cost almost nothing. What I am about to share across these 5 parts is not a collection of tips. It is a complete system, applied together in the correct order. This system creates a home environment that is genuinely and permanently hostile to pest establishment of any kind. The pest control industry has spent billions ensuring you never understand this, because the moment you do, you never need them again. The fundamental mistake every homeowner makes. Before I walk you through the system, I need you to understand the single most important concept. Most homeowners think about pest control as pest elimination. They discover a problem, they address it, and they consider it solved. Ants in the kitchen, they spray. Mice in the garage, they set traps. The pest is dealt with, and the problem is considered closed. This is exactly the wrong framework. The correct framework is not elimination. It is environment management. Pests do not appear randomly. They appear because your home offers something they need: food, water, harborage, warmth, or an entry point. The goal is never to kill the pest in front of you. The goal is to make your home a place where no pest can survive. Understanding what every pest is looking for, every species is driven by the same 4 needs: food, water, shelter, entry. Food for insects is almost anything organic. Crumbs, grease, film, residue in a drain, or organic material in soil near the foundation. Food for rodents is more broadly distributed. Mice and rats will feed on paper, fabric, insulation, soap, and candle wax. Water for pests is available in more locations than you realize. A slow drip, condensation on pipes, or a pet bowl left overnight. Shelter means enclosed dark spaces, inside wall cavities, behind appliances, in attic insulation, or in wood piles against exterior walls. Entry point management is the structural foundation. A perfectly sealed home with no food or water is a home where no pest can establish. Every March, 6 to 8 weeks before the warm weather, we began the preparation phase. Our defenses were fully operational before the first bug appeared. The first task was a complete property inspection. We walked every inch, looking for changes over the winter, like new cracks or damaged screens. Winter mechanical stress opens gaps. By March, every crack was sealed, every deteriorated seal replaced, and every woodpile moved 20 feet away. The second task was sourcing materials. Dried herbs, white vinegar, whole cloves, bay leaves, diatomaceous earth, steel wool, and cork. Start before you need to. That is the Amish principle that underlies every specific technique in this entire system. The barrier system begins at the outermost edge of your property and works inward toward your home in concentric layers. This is the architectural principle behind every pest defense my community. Built on the farm, not a single line of defense at the door, but multiple layers working simultaneously so that a pest that penetrates one layer immediately encounters the next. By the time any pest reaches the interior of your home, it has had to navigate through 5 or 6 independent barriers. What arrives at your front door is a fraction of what started at your property line. This produces permanent results rather than temporary ones. Layer 1, the property perimeter. The outermost layer of the system begins at the edge of your property and extends toward your home. Vegetation management at the property perimeter is the first and most impactful action at this layer. Dense vegetation, tall grass, and overgrown shrubs within 20 feet of your home's exterior walls creates ideal harborage for pests. The simple act of maintaining a clear mode zone of at least 10 feet reduces the pest population significantly. Wood piles stored against exterior walls are one of the most common and most impactful pest harborage sources. Move every wood pile to a minimum of 20 feet from any exterior wall. Store it elevated off the ground on a rack. Leaf litter and organic debris accumulated against foundation walls create a moist organic layer that is a food and water source. On the farm, we maintained a clear, dry zone of at least 12 inches between any mulch and every foundation wall. Standing water anywhere on your property within 50 feet of your home is a resource that sustains pest populations. A bird bath refreshed every 2 days does not breed mosquitoes. A bird bath left stagnant for a week does. Layer 2, the foundation barrier. The foundation of your home is the primary structural interface between the outdoors and your interior. Walk the complete exterior perimeter. You are looking for cracks in concrete or masonry and gaps around utility penetrations. Every crack in poured concrete foundation walls is sealed with hydraulic cement, which expands as it cures to fill the crack completely. Every utility penetration gap is sealed with steel wool packed tightly into the gap first, followed by a layer of exterior-grade cork. Mice cannot chew through steel wool. The steel fibers cut their mouthparts, and they abandon the attempt. After sealing every gap, the foundation receives food-grade diatomaceous earth, applied in a continuous band around the entire perimeter. Layer 3, the exterior wall and window system. Above the foundation, the exterior walls contain their own set of entry points. Every window on the ground floor receives a screen inspection. Screens are inspected for even small pinholes. Windowsills receive a natural repellent, a mixture of crushed dried cloves, dried lavender, and dried mint in small cloth sachets. Layer 4, the entry point system at every door. The gap beneath exterior doors is a primary entry point. The natural repellent treatment at doors. Fresh basil plants in pots placed on either side of the entry. Layer 5, the immediate foundation plantings. Every plant within 6 feet of your walls should serve a pest repellent function. Lavender, mint, rosemary, and marigolds create a living repellent perimeter that operates continuously throughout the growing season. Every pest that makes it through the 5 exterior layers enters a home that is about to become the most hostile environment it has ever encountered. The exterior system reduces the population dramatically. The interior system finishes the job. Most homeowners have the most work to do right here. The average American home provides enough food, water, and harborage to sustain populations indefinitely. We must manage these three things simultaneously. The kitchen is the most critical interior zone. It concentrates food, water, and warmth more densely than any other room in your home. Every dry good, flour, grain, and cereal needs to be transferred to a hard-sided container with a gasket seal. Glass jars are perfect for this. A transition to sealed containers eliminates the primary food resource for the majority of pest species in a single afternoon of repackaging. During warm months, store all fruit in covered containers or the refrigerator. This eliminates the powerful attractant signal broadcasting from your kitchen. Wipe every cooking surface with a vinegar solution immediately after every session. Grease film is a significant food resource for roaches and flies. Pull every major appliance away from the wall every 6 to 8 weeks. Clean the floor and wall surface behind it thoroughly. Place dried bay leaves in every corner of your cabinets. They contain volatile compounds that are deeply aversive to roaches and ants. Water is the resource with the shortest survival window. Eliminate water completely, and pest populations will collapse faster than any other intervention. Fix every drip beneath every sink tonight. The pest management value of that repair is equivalent to removing their primary water source. Install foam insulation sleeves on every cold water supply pipe. This prevents condensation that creates favorable harborage conditions in enclosed spaces. Empty and dry every pet water bowl before bed. Your pet does not need overnight water, but the pests in your home certainly do. Wipe the sink basin dry before bed. A dry sink ensures that pests active during overnight hours find no accessible water anywhere. Harborage denial is about removing every enclosed dark space. Stacked paper, cardboard, and cluttered cabinets are perfect pest shelters. Replace all cardboard storage with hard-sided plastic. Cardboard provides harborage, absorbs moisture, and is even a food source for silverfish. Apply a thin line of food-grade, diatomaceous earth behind large furniture. This creates a passive kill zone in overlooked interior areas. Cedar blocks placed in every closet and drawer create a continuous repellent environment. The compound cedral is toxic to insect nervous systems. Peppermint oil on cotton balls creates a menthol barrier. Mice have an acute sensitivity to these compounds and will not establish nearby. With food and water eliminated and harborage denied, your home becomes an interior fortress, a managed environment where no pest can survive. Every system fails without maintenance. That is the truth that separates a home that stays permanently pest-free from one that achieves results for a season. The exterior barriers weather and crack. The natural repellents deplete their volatile compounds. The diatomaceous earth absorbs moisture and loses its edge structure. The door sweeps compress and develop gaps. The drain organic film builds back up. None of these failures happen dramatically or suddenly. They happen gradually and invisibly over weeks and months until the pest system has enough gaps that pest populations find their way back in. The maintenance calendar I am giving you is what prevented that gradual degradation on the farm for 30 consecutive years. It requires consistency. 10 minutes per week, 30 minutes per month, 2 hours per season. That is the total time investment that keeps the system operating at full effectiveness. The weekly maintenance protocol. Drain treatment is the non-negotiable weekly action. Every kitchen, bathroom, and utility drain receives 1 full cup of undiluted white vinegar, followed immediately by a full kettle of boiling water. The vinegar breaks down organic film, and the boiling water flushes the material and destroys eggs. The weekly visual inspection of higher-risk zones takes 5 minutes. Check beneath the refrigerator, under the kitchen sink, and the cabinet kickplate space. you are looking for specific indicators. Fresh frass resembling ground black pepper, shed insect skins, or small dark brown rectangular egg cases. Weekly pet bowl cleaning has a disproportionate impact. Every bowl is emptied, washed with hot water and soap, and dried completely every single week. Weekly stovetop cleaning with a diluted vinegar solution prevents grease film accumulation. A 5-minute wipe down prevents invisible residue from sustaining pest populations. The monthly maintenance protocol, refreshing diatomaceous earth in primary locations, ensures the treatment is always performing at full effectiveness. Bay leaf replacement in all kitchen shelves maintains a continuous repellent environment. Fresh replacement takes 5 minutes and costs pennies per leaf. Peppermint oil cotton ball replacement ensures the menthol barrier is at active concentration. Replace them in cabinet corners and under-sink spaces. The monthly exterior walk is a 20-minute inspection of the foundation perimeter. Look for new cracks, gaps around utility pipes, or deteriorated door sweeps. Lightly sand every cedar block in your closets. This exposes fresh wood with full volatile oil content, restoring the repellent effect immediately. The seasonal maintenance protocol. 4 times per year, a comprehensive sweep addresses layers of the system that operate on a longer cycle. Spring maintenance is most comprehensive. Freestore cycles, crack, cork, and mortar. Resealing, utility penetrations and foundation cracks, maintains structural integrity. Perform a semi-annual deep clean of major appliances. Pull them away from the wall, clean behind them, and apply fresh diatomaceous earth. Herb garden planting restores the living repellent perimeter. Place basil at exterior doors and maintain lavender and mint beds along the foundation. The fall seasonal maintenance focuses on rodent exclusion as temperatures drop. Seal gaps with steel wool and cork before the first cold snap. Inspect your attic with a flashlight for evidence of activity. Ensure all vents are covered with intact, fine mesh hardware cloth. The record-keeping system. Keep a simple notebook recording every pest sighting and maintenance action. A system managed with records improves continuously. This practice produces compounding improvements. Review your notes at the beginning of each cycle to guide your priorities for the upcoming season. The final part brings the system together as a permanent reference, addressing specific species and giving you a complete troubleshooting guide. Everything built across these 4 parts: the exterior layered barrier, the interior food and water elimination, and the harborage denial system, the natural repellent environment, and the seasonal maintenance calendar, comes together in this final part as a complete, permanent reference. But before I give you the species-specific adjustments and the troubleshooting guide, I want to address a question every homeowner asks. Is this really necessary? Do I need every layer, or can I implement just a few methods and achieve the same result? I understand why the question gets asked. The system is thorough. It requires initial effort to implement completely. In a culture where pest control is reduced to spraying a can, a layered preventive system feels like more than required. Here is my honest answer after 30 years of watching this system work. Every layer exists because every layer closes a gap. The exterior barrier reduces pest population approaching your home but does not eliminate it. The entry point sealing stops the majority. The interior food and water elimination removes resources that sustain populations but does not kill individuals already present. No single layer solves the problem. Every layer together creates an environment where no pest can complete the cycle. The initial implementation requires one focused weekend. The ongoing maintenance requires less than an hour per week. Species-specific adjustments. Ants are the species that most commonly penetrates an otherwise well-maintained home. A single ant scout that finds a crumb invisible to the human eye returns to the colony and recruits hundreds of foragers. The specific ant adjustment is a continuous barrier of food-grade diatomaceous earth at every point where the exterior wall meets the floor. The natural repellent most effective specifically against ants is food-grade cinnamon powder. Ants will not cross a line of cinnamon. The method that eliminates the colony at the source is a boric acid bait placed directly along the foraging trail. When the queen dies, the colony collapses within days. No queen equals no colony. The entire visible ant problem disappears. Species-specific adjustments. Termites. Termites require a departure from the standard system because they operate at a structural level. Wood-to-soil contact is the single most important termite prevention factor. Every piece of wood touching the soil is an entry point. The natural termite repellent used for generations is orange oil. The compound delimunin is toxic to termites on contact. Species-specific adjustments. Mosquitoes. This addresses the outdoor environment where mosquito breeding occurs. Mosquitoes require 7 to 10 days of standing water. Any water refreshed more frequently cannot produce adult mosquitoes. Citronella grass, lemon balms, and catnip planted together create a natural mosquito management system that requires no spray. Species-specific adjustments. Wildlife. Raccoons, squirrels, and opossums require a structural challenge rather than a chemical one. Every soffit vent should be covered with hardware cloth secured with screws. Wildlife can tear staples off, but not screws. The troubleshooting guide. If pest pressure persists, it is an unidentified entry point, food source, or a maintenance gap. Conduct a complete kitchen audit with a flashlight after dark when pest foraging activity is at its peak. The pest control industry generates revenue from repeat customers. Their model depends on solutions that do not last. This system produces permanent resolution. It was developed by communities whose survival depended on solutions that actually worked. Your home is yours to protect. You have everything you need to protect it permanently, starting today.